Okay, for example, now we are going to see a 6-speed gearbox, how to design the 6-speed gearbox. The problem is design a 6-speed gearbox for minimum speed of 100 rpm and a maximum speed of 315 rpm. So step number 1 is progression ratio. So progression ratio, this is the formula we have to find out, n max divided by n minimum whole power 1 divided by r minus 1, where r is equal to number of speeds. Number of speeds equal to, in the problem itself they will be given 6 speed. So 315 maximum speed is 315 and minimum speed is 100 rpm. So whole power 1 divided by 6 minus 1, we can get 1.25. 1.25 is the standard value. From the data book 7.20, progression value 1.25. This is the first column of progression value. From there you can directly take all 6 speeds. No need to skip any speed, because this is 1.25 is the standard value. If it is not coming standard value, we will see later. So 1.25, this is a progression value. Next, step number 2 is a different speeds. So different speeds, how to select the different speed means from the data books 1.20. From there 1.25 progression value, we can directly take all the speeds n1, n2, n3, n4, n5 and n6. So minimum speed is 100 rpm. It will be given to you. Next, what is the next speed in the 1.25 progression value? N2 is equal to 125, N3 is equal to 160, N4 is equal to 200 and N5 is equal to 250 and N6 is equal to 315 rpm from page number 7.20. Next is structure of gearbox. So as I told earlier, structure of gearbox is always mentioned 3 into 2 only. I told you structure of gearbox is 3 into 2. So yeah, you have to always mention 3, 2. So this is the first stage, this is the second stage. First stage input is 1 and the second stage is input is 3. So how these 3 can be coming? So I told you initially we have to, for stage number 1, initially we have to give the only one input. For second stage input is you have to multiply 1 into 3. So 3. So 2 into 6. So totally you can get 6 speed. You can get 6 speed. So next is, so this is important one, how to draw the kinematic arrangement. It is very important. So here we have to merge all the gears in a number of shafts. So here we need to know how many number of shafts we need to know. For that, so number of shafts equal to number of stages plus 1. Number of stages plus 1. So here the number of stages equal to, I told you 2. There are 2 stages are there. So 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. So we need to have a 3 shaft. So this is kinematic arrangement. This is stage number 1. This is stage number 2. There are 3 shafts are given. We have to draw, because number of shafts equal to 3. Number of shafts equal to number of stages plus 1. We have 2 stages. So 2 plus 1 is equal to 3 shafts. So this is first shaft, second shaft, this is third shaft. So this is stage number 1, this is stage number 2. For stage number 1, how will you draw this kinematic arrangement means, this is input, I told you, this is the in bracket, this is input and 3 is the output. Here stage number 3, 3 is the input, 2 is the output. So initially we have to give only one input. So already the motor will give already given one input. So motor is the input. Next, 3 output. 3 output means we have to draw 3 shaft. Here we have to see, we have to draw 3 shaft. Initially the center shaft will be longer one, and right hand side shaft is smaller one, and left hand side shaft is somewhat bigger one as compared to right side. So we have to draw. So initially only one input we have to give. So already the motor will give given one input. So totally 3 outputs we have to give. So we have to draw 3 shaft. So first shaft, the center shaft will be longer one, and right hand shaft will be smaller one, and left side shaft will be larger than the right side one. So 1 input and 3 output. Okay. Next, you have to draw the matting parts, matting shaft. For first, that is 135. For third shaft we have to draw the matting shaft. Fifth shaft also you have to draw the matting shaft, and the first one we have to draw the matting shaft. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So see, listen here. Here the third one is larger one. So if you draw the matting shaft, it is a smaller one. Next, fifth shaft is the very smaller one, but opposite matting shaft is, it is a larger one, and left side shaft is somewhat bigger than the right side one, so we have to draw the somewhat bigger than the sixth one. So likewise you have to draw all the shafts. Next, second stage, there are 3 input, 2 outputs. 3 input and 2 outputs. So already we given 3 input, so remaining 2 output only we have to draw. So we have to draw 2 shaft, right? So this right side shaft is smaller one, and left side shaft is somewhat bigger one. So these 2 shafts we have to draw the matting shaft also. So 7th one for gear 7 we have to draw 8th one, and 9th gear we have to draw the 10th gear. 2 matting gears we have to draw, right? So totally, let me explain once again. So here number of shaft we have to calculate. For calculating number of shafts, the formula is number of stages plus 1. Here we have 2 stages, so 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. So there are 3 shafts we have to draw. So 1, 2, 3, right? So this is the kinematic arrangement. You have to draw this box type. There are 3 shafts are there. So first stage is 3, 1 and 2, 3. So for stage number 1, initially we have to give only one input. So where we have to give the input, only one input means the initially we have to give the motor is the input. So motor is the one input we already given, and parallelly we have to simultaneously we have to give the 3 outputs. One input, 3 output. So we have to draw 3 shaft. I told you the center one will be the larger gear, and right side one is the smaller gear, and left side one is the somewhat bigger than the right side one. And similarly we have to draw the matting gear also. So for third gear we have to draw the fourth gear, fifth gear we have to draw the sixth gear, first gear we have to draw the second gear. So suppose for how to draw the matting gear means, here the third gear is the larger one, and similarly we have to draw fourth gear is the smaller one. Fifth gear is the smaller one, we have to draw larger one. First gear is the somewhat bigger than right side gear, that is fifth one, we have to draw the larger one. So we have to draw 3 matting gears. Stage number 2, 3 inputs, 2 outputs. So already here stage number 2 we already given the 3 shafts, and we have to give 3 gears, and we have to draw the 2 output, that is 2 gears. So 7 and 9. Similarly we have to draw the matting gear also, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hope you understand everything. Next we have to go for step number 5, ray diagram. It is also very important for ray diagram, because totally we have 6 speeds are there: 100, 125, 160, 200, 250, 350. So 315 is the maximum speed, and 100 is the minimum speed. So we have to draw this square rectangular box. So in that rectangular box you have to divide 6 equal parts. 6 equal parts means each parts having a speed: 100, 125, 160, 200, 250, 350. So 200 is the minimum speed, and maximum speed is 315. Here we have to draw the ray diagram. For stage number, second stage I am going to draw. Listen, it is very important. 2, 3 in bracket 3, and 2 is output, I told you. So here we are going for some blind method how to draw the ray diagram. So 3 is the gap, I am going to take 3 is the gap, and 2 is the points. So here in this we have to locate 2 points and 3 gaps. We have to locate